Hey team, you're watching Hide and Sneakz, and as sneakerheads, we love a good collaboration. Now normally that pair is working with an amazing fashion designer, an iconic clothing brand, maybe a skater, an athlete, but no, this time it's inspired by a digital banana. That's right, today we're talking about the Adidas collaboration with Fortnite on their Ultraboost 1 model. Now Adidas has released 5 of these collaborations, and the one that I want to talk to you about the most today is the one that's inspired by Peely. Now, I am not a Fortnite fan, so I don't really have a lot of experience in this space and how to talk to it, but from the research that I could see online, the bulk of it is Peely is an iconic character and skin associated with the game Fortnite, inspired by a banana. So it's a banana with a face and eyes, and that's kind of what we see as the inspiration here on this Ultraboost model. Now, one thing I will say about this particular collaboration is I think it's incredibly exciting. And that's not for the reasons you might think, like, I really want to wear this pair. Instead, I think it's a really cool commentary on where we're at in the sneaker market and how we're trying to make some exciting moves to ignite an excitement with the next generation. Now, I talked about this in my upcoming March release video, but I thought it was really cool how the Fortnite collaboration does help that next generation of sneakerheads. If we think about past releases, we've had things like collaborations with Pokemon, Scooby-Doo, the Ninja Turtles, SpongeBob, and that's captured a mix of Gen Z and millennials and kind of dived into their nostalgia. Now Gen Z doesn't have that, so to kind of link in with the likes of Fortnite, I think is a great way to expose Fortnite fans to the sneaker market. And I think it's going to be very cool for helping grow that next generation. Aside of that collaboration aspect, I think it's just really cool to see brands like Adidas attempt to bring back former glory of such an iconic moment in sneaker history. Now, I talked before about how Nike did such a great job in the early 2010s capturing that performance excitement on their basketball models and making them cool to wear off court, and it was fashionable at the time. Adidas was doing a lot of cool things at the time too, but what they did was they were focusing on kind of creating that trainer connection to streetwear, which is why things like the Ultraboost were so popular back then, because they were comfortable, but they worked in with our streetwear looks and fits. Now, a bit of time has moved on since then when we talk about trainers that people wear on the day-to-day. They're more of a dad shoe vibe, but I'm all for Adidas trying to bring back that Ultraboost 1.0 energy and try to reignite that passion. Now, we're going to put a pause on the sneaker landscape chats and focus back on this pair inspired by Peely, because it's really interesting. First of all, it's got a shroud on it, so you can peel it back like a half-peeled banana or fully take it off, and it really has that sort of hues of the outside of a banana and the actual sort of tangible peel back element, which is quite cool. When you take off the shroud, you see the kind of fruit part of the banana. It's a lighter yellow, so it creates that contrast from the overall skin and is very reminiscent of the actual banana. And I think what we've done with the kind of woven upper on this and sort of little tiny holes that kind of creates a sort of texture does a great job at being a nod to a banana. Now, it is inspired by Peely, so they haven't just gone purely the banana out. If you look at the toes of the shoe, you'll always be Peely's face looking back and smiling at you. If that's something that you really like, fantastic. For me, I thought that was kind of unusual. With that in mind, let's have a look at the shoe and find out, is it a miss, is it a maybe, or is it a must? And I think we can probably tell what first one I'm going to eliminate, and that is it a must? Guys, it is not a must. This is a shoe that's bright yellow with a yellow shroud on top, inspired by a children's video game and a digital banana. I feel quite confident, unless you are the biggest Fortnite fan in the world, that this cannot possibly be a must pair. Is it a maybe? Well, this is an interesting one. Now, when I talk about maybes, I normally talk about a couple things to say, is it an elevated pair? And a lot of the times I talk about, is there a very unique look to the shoe that you wouldn't get in other parts of your collection? Does it have really good narrative or materials? And it does have really good narrative. They've carried it through right from how the shoe has got the shroud on it, to the face, to the nod. I just don't think it's a very wearable pair, because even if you do really like yellow, you're still wearing the kids' video game shoes. I think that'd be great for sort of that grade school sizing, but as an adult, I don't think it is a maybe. For me, it is a very clear miss. It's creative, I really wanted to talk about it, but this is not something that I think adults should be adding to their sneaker collection. So by all means, if you love that light yellow pair, then you can probably get this. If you're a Fortnite fan, you can probably get this, but for the vast majority of us, this is a clear miss. Speaking of misses, let's ask Brooklyn her thoughts on this pair. Now, normally I give her pairs that I'm really passionate about, that are OG retro colorways or hyped retros or something they've been looking forward to on the sneaker calendar for quite a long time. And I don't give her the context, and that's where we get such different views sometimes. On this case, I'm literally going to show her the shroud image, I'll let her talk, and then I'll give her the more detail. But I don't think she's going to be a big fan of this particular pair, so let's see what she thinks. Is it a near miss or is it a near misses?
What are those?
So this is the collaboration with Fortnite on the Adidas Ultraboost.
They've got duck feet that look like waterproof.
Does it look like a banana?
A banana? Wasn't gonna say that, but I can see that.
So it's inspired by a character called Peely. That's the upper cover. And then when you take the shroud off, this is what the shoe actually looks like.
No. Why? I'm sure there are other characters on Fortnite that would be better. Why did they do the banana?
So they did 5 different pairs, but we're talking about this pair today because it's a little bit clickbait for you, in the sense that I think it's a pretty weird pair.
It is a weird pair. I kind of like the pale yellow. I like how it peels. That's kind of, the concept is kind of fun, but it just looks ugly.
So how many purple hearts does the Peely pair get?
Concept and design idea, 3 purple hearts. It's smart, it's creative.
Is it a near miss or is it a near misses?
That's an MS. That's not it. That is, I want to say appealing, but that's the wrong words. I was going to say appalling, but appealing.
Even though it's a collaboration pair?
You know.
Thanks babe, and you did exactly what I thought you would do, so this is clearly not a cult for me. But hey, great to talk about this pair on the channel, and again, thanks for making time for us and the viewers. Well guys, it's game time. That's all I have for you today. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of this pair. If there's anyone going for this, I would love to hear that. And is this your favourite pair in the 5 pairs that released as part of the Fortnite Ultraboost lineup? Let me know in the comment section below. I look forward to reading it. In the meantime, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.